Aren't you a little short for a stormtrooper?
Like it's always Steve Haller. What's up, Steve? He's fixing audio things or video things right now.
Audio things should be fixed.
Should be fixed.
Doing good here. Doing good.
Here we be. Day 2, Syracuse Collectors Con. We are live currently on the floor of Syracuse Collectors Con.
And we also can't see the chat if anyone's talking.
Sorry.
So apologies for that.
Can't see any chats.
But yeah, just checking in, trying to figure out what's going on. And well, in general, it's day 2 at what, 3 o'clock-ish?
Yeah, we're winding down here on a con that's been strange.
Yeah, definitely a different feel to it.
The biggest, definitely bigger than last year, but a weird crowd, I guess I'll say.
Personnel-wise, I think we've had a lot of bodies come through and a lot of things happen. And yeah, we're here.
Yeah. Some awkwardness, some fun. Steve's family's here.
Yeah, we got
that's right.
Got a whole party here, including my son with an
my
XLL
collaborator, my longtime collaborator and artist friend Riley McFarlane is here, signing prints. We're selling Amazing Shakes books. We're hawking Crown of Bones left and right, and we haven't been able to talk too much about nerdy stuff other than the things that we're selling and trying to do.
Yeah.
But there was a whole big, the biggest nerdy news, I think, this week is the announcement of the cast of Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing we're going to touch on real quick right now. I don't know how, this is probably going to be a short episode because it's hard to record at a con.
It is.
And this is a one time where I'm going to say that and we're not going to end up talking for an hour and a half. I think it's going to be a short episode, and it's going to be a short episode. Because we're exhausted, and, you know, it's hard to record at a con.
And if you hear any random clacking in the background, there's a group of lightsaber makers, Sabercore, Sabercore Customs next to us that are, I believe, out of Manlius, New York.
Lightsaber enthusiasts.
Yeah, really, really cool. But they're
sure.
doing some, I guess, play acting and demos next to us. So you may hear those click and clacking back and forth. We also are, you know, just in general chilling,
just hanging out. So yeah, this show is brought to you by Funky Town Comics, who unfortunately had to pull out of Collectors Con at the last minute. So they are not here, but they're still sponsoring this podcast, and you should go still check them out for all your comic needs, record needs, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, biggest story this week, Avengers Doomsday Cast was announced by an 8-hour YouTube video or social media video revealing the backs of directors' chairs one by one every 15 minutes. They would reveal another chair, and that chair had a name on the back of it, starting with some obvious ones, Anthony Mackie, Vanessa Kirby, members of the team that we're pretty sure were going to be involved in Avengers Doomsday. But then we got some curveballs here and there. Paul Rudd, obviously, is an obvious one. I'm trying to think of the other obvious people that were announced. Pedro Pascal, members of Fantastic Four.
A lot of the previous MCU cast, as expected.
Yeah. The first curveball we got was Kelsey Grammer, who you may remember as being in X3 as Beast. And then if you saw the Marvels, if you're one of the 10 people that saw the Marvels, you may know that he was also...
You're one of the 8 other people, because 2 of us are right here. Yeah. Both of us enjoyed it.
Yeah. He also appeared as Beast in the post-credit scene of that movie, indicating that he would be back. So that was kind of a surprise, but not a huge surprise. But then we got more, eventually, from the Fox X-Men cast, including Patrick Stewart, who we'd seen in Multiverse of Madness.
Right. Ian McKellen.
However, we also got Ian McKellen, James Marsden, Alan Cumming.
Famke Janssen.
I don't think they said Famke Janssen. No.
Alan Cumming was the big surprise coming back as Nightcrawler.
Because he didn't even want to come back for the third one because he hated putting the makeup on. But I'm sure they can.
Too.
Yeah, of course. So we're getting a return of a lot of the Fox X-Men characters and cast. The ones some that I expected to see and didn't see. After we started seeing Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, I was like, okay, we're going to get Famke Janssen. We're going to get Halle Berry.
Right.
We're going to get Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman was just in Deadpool and Wolverine, and they're going to say Ryan Reynolds.
Right.
But they
We
didn't
get
say any of those names. Doesn't mean that they still won't show up. I think it's a good possibility that Hugh Jackman would show up as Wolverine, or other characters might be there as a surprise. But we're basically, it's confirmed now that we're getting Fox X-Men characters in Avengers Doomsday. What do you think about that, Steve?
I have thoughts,
Yeah.
as usual.
Yeah, me too.
My thoughts inherently seem more negative than most on what's going on. I don't mind that they're doing it. I do think that them going whole hog into it and leaning into it this early, not even just how they announced it, but the fact that if they're putting this as the forefront of what their marketing is, that means we're probably doing some sort of Avengers versus X-Men, but with the old men X-Men.
Could be. I don't know. I guess I don't know what their intention is. I hadn't thought about it being Avengers versus X-Men, and that's not even something that I really care about. I'm not sure the word to say, because I don't want to say sick and tired, and I don't want to say that I don't like them, but I guess I'm just over the Fox X-Men universe.
Yeah.
It died, it's done. It was a very mixed bag of films and execution, and it's great. I loved a lot of those movies, but it's over. It's done. I was really looking forward to moving forward with new actors in all the X-Men roles. And then they're like, well, Hugh Jackman's coming back one more time for Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm like, okay, fine, that'll be exciting. And it was exciting to see him in that movie, but that's it. I didn't want any more. And I don't want any, it was fun to see Patrick Stewart in Multiverse of Madness.
Right.
That's
and
fine,
with
great.
Beast, I didn't mind seeing that cameo.
Right. But I'm done.
Right.
I move on. I want new stuff. Stop it. Stop with the nostalgia. Stop. I want new stuff. So I'm sure there's people out there that are incredibly excited, people that have always wanted to see, 15 years ago, I would have been like, yes, finally, they're getting these universes together.
Yep.
Now I don't care. Now I'm done. I've moved on, and they haven't.
Well, and especially after they've effectively said they were, and then they didn't.
Right. Yeah.
They've shown through movies and through whatever, shows and in all honesty, through Ms. Marvel, bringing mutants in that way, that there wasn't a need to do.
Right. We don't need to rehash.
The big, let's bring everybody back.
And I don't know that it's a great idea to remind people of all these older versions of these characters when you're eventually, I assume they're going to eventually launch new versions of these characters. Don't remind us about the people that used to play them. Just start fresh and go forward with new characters, because then the people that love James Marsden as Cyclops will be like, oh, well, I want to see that guy more.
Right.
Well, too bad. We're already moving forward with somebody else. So I don't know.
Yeah, it seems like I don't want to say it seems like a try-hard maneuver, but it kind of is all right, guys, just cut your losses and
move forward. Give us something new. The audience will be there if you write a good story. Stop leaning on our nostalgia to sell tickets.
Right.
Give us something cool to sell tickets.
Yeah, you would think.
And speaking of leaning on things we already know to sell tickets, the last chair that they revealed was Robert Downey Jr., and he actually walked onto the set. Was he just hanging out there for 8 hours?
Yeah, he must have.
Yeah, and walked on, sat down.
It's $8 million for him to make that spot, I'd assume.
Yeah, gave a wink and walked away. So, but we already knew he was coming back, so it was a weird. I felt that was a weird thing to end on when they already announced that he was going to be in it.
I think that announcement, that whole announcement should have been maybe 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, they spent 8 hours revealing one chair slowly at a time, which I guess kept people talking about it, and we're talking about it now, but still, I don't know. I would have had a bigger reaction if they had just dropped it all at once instead of in piecemeal.
So does this move the needle on Doomsday for you? Does this positively or negatively?
It makes me more apprehensive about it now that I know that's going to be so X-Men focused. We're assuming it's going to be so X-Men focused, but they kind of told us that when they revealed their names alongside big characters like Anthony Mackie and Captain America and the Fantastic Four. They're showing us that these characters, the nature of the announcement, kind of inherently told me that all these characters are on the same level of importance and it's not going to be a cameo from James Marsden. It's not going to be a cameo from Ian McKellen. Like, these are going to be characters in the movie.
Yep.
Which makes me care less about it.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. And I was ready to like have Avengers Doomsday like reignite me
kind of
again,
forgive and forget, and
getting
like,
all these characters back together, and but like. You know, I guess
that's the other thing though, is like we're already getting all these characters back together.
Yeah.
Why did we need to add another full cast to it?
I don't think we do. I think they're maybe. Do you think they're nervous that because you know, well, because Iron Man is gone.
Right.
I almost said because Downey is gone. He's not.
Yeah.
He's just not playing Iron Man. But like Chris Evans isn't there anymore. Like a lot of the big draws aren't going to be a part of it. Well, they might be, I guess. But
well, the latest rumor is Evans is going to be back at some point.
He's going to be back, yeah.
So.
But it's just so like, I don't know. It's getting hard for me to care.
Yeah.
Because they're just, they seem to be circling back in many different ways, circling back to things that have worked in the past instead of trying something new.
Well, now, on the flip side, like, we pulled the con like we usually do, and I'm sure we'll have a full episode about that later. But in general, like, one of the questions, just like we asked the last time, was Fantastic Four or Superman, which you're more excited for. And there's been a good number of Fantastic Four. Like, we've had a lot of ad hoc, we think something.
Yeah.
And then when we tally the votes, we're like, oh, shit, that was way wrong.
Yeah, and we haven't counted everything up yet, so we don't know.
So we don't know the answers, but there was definitively like a number of Fantastic Four that I saw going in there, which is interesting.
Yeah, well, I mean, we finally have a trailer for both of them, so that could have
Right.
moved the needle on Fantastic Four for some people.
We have a trailer. We don't have a trailer for Fantastic Four.
Yeah, we do. It was not great. I was. You
Oh,
know,
yeah. I
yeah.
forgot about
It was
that.
just like, okay.
Right.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike, we talk about a lot of things. I don't know.
You know, we also had a guy that was just adamantly anti-Superman. So like, if you have people that are like that, then yeah, of course they're gonna vote for Fantastic Four for Superman. But who knows? Who knows? So yeah, I don't
the guy
know.
who was adamantly anti-Superman literally just walked right past us.
Oh, was that him?
That was the guy with the red lightsaber there.
I didn't notice. That's funny.
So
We had some fucking asshole that really hated. Oh, hi.
oh, hi. How you doing?
Yeah, what else is there? Oh, there's a rumor that Blade has been finally canceled.
Yep.
Not sure how verified that is. We just checked real quick before we started talking here. Rumor that Blade is actually canceled. Who knows? I wouldn't be surprised. But that's another, like, you know, if you're canceling Blade, why wasn't Mahershala Ali's name on back one of those chairs? Like, throw him a bone. Put him in Doomsday. Why isn't...
Wesley Snipes on Doomsday.
Or where was, like, you know, if you're trying to assemble a cast people care about, where's Mark Ruffalo's name? Where's Brie Larson's name? Where's Benedict Cumberbatch? There's like a lot of like characters people care about that are just not announced as part of this cast. Like, what are you doing? You're leaving some of your big guns on the sidelines so you can bring back, you know, make a nostalgia play, and who knows if that's going to work.
James Marsden as Cyclops was awesome.
Yeah.
Do I need more of him?
No.
No.
No, I don't. I'm ready for somebody else.
Yeah.
Someone else, and not was it who?
Or even like the other thing we didn't see is any of the young Fox cast.
Yeah, exactly.
It was only the old Fox cast.
That's true.
My son is hitting me in the butt with something. I don't know what. I apologize. This normally doesn't happen
That's
live.
okay. That's all right. Something's happening. Yeah, so I feel like that was like the biggest piece of news that we got this week. There's some other rumored stuff happening, but nothing confirmed. So that Doomsday stuff is really the biggest splash that hit that I know of that I've seen so far. But, yeah.
I don't know. Was there anything else that popped up that I can?
Not that I could think of. The Blade possibly being canceled.
Right.
But who knows? I think
Which
I read a couple.
translates. If Mike and I can't think of something that popped up, there's going to be something that we forgot about that we'll have to talk about next week.
Yeah, and we'll definitely talk about other stuff next week. And we'll circle back. We'll probably talk about this more next week because we'll be in a place where we can actually talk about it a little bit. Yeah, I'm just scanning. Like there's like a lot of rumors. Chris Evans. Oh no, I think they already had reported that Evans was going to be in Doomsday. So that's kind of why I was surprised that his name wasn't on the back of those chairs unless they're trying to hold it as a reveal. The rumor now is that Chris Evans is going to join Fantastic Four.
Oh.
Which I think is strange.
No,
unless
he
went.
Strange. That was...
Yeah. But he did go back in time, so
Right.
maybe he's back in that time frame. You know what I mean? He
Oh,
could be
yeah.
back. He could be in their timeline as Steve Rogers.
That might.
That
as
kind
dumb
of
as it
actually
sounds,
makes sense.
If that worked, like if that is why, then I guess that does make sense.
Yeah, that could make sense.
Yeah.
Also, there's like there's a new writer on Clayface.
Didn't we just announce there was a new writer on Clayface?
No, we announced they're making Clayface because they loved the script by Mike Flanagan so much. So
That's what it was. I
if
knew it
you
had
love-
something specifically to do with the writer.
if you love the pitch and script by Mike Flanagan, why are you hiring a new writer to punch up the script that you love? I don't understand that. That's strange. But
No.
I just read a headline. I haven't dug into that article, or I don't know anything about it. So
Because as you can see by the craziness going on behind us,
yeah.
we don't have much time to look up anything this weekend.
Yeah, I don't know if
So,
anyone can see the craziness, but there's a lot of kids running around and knocking into stuff. So, but yeah, there's still.
Hi, dude.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Thanks, man.
Yeah, many thanks to Brendan Gorin who helped us out this
Big
weekend.
thanks.
Gave us a hand.
Big thank yous.
So-
Yeah, I guess that's all we got. I don't really have much else to talk about.
No, and I still haven't seen 5 and 6 for Daredevil because I've had too many things.
I haven't
to prep,
seen
so
Daredevil either, so yeah, I'm not down on Daredevil yet. But we'll do a big wrap-up, catch-up next week
We'll have
with
to figure
more
out
news.
what our Daredevil care level is, Mike.
I know. Still pretty high.
Yeah,
But I
I'd
haven't
say
seen
so.
the most recent one, so I don't know. I don't know.
So, yeah,
But yeah,
for-
there's still a couple hours left. If you're listening to this live and you're in Syracuse, there's still an hour left, hour and change left for Syracuse Collectors Con. Come on down, buy some comics from me, get some stickers, some coasters. Do we still have coasters?
We do not. We have one coaster left.
Oh, you can be the last one to get a Multiverse Report coaster. If you come on down today.
Yeah.
And other than that, I think we're good to go.
Yeah.
So, wrapping this up quickly, as the two suns set over the burnt corpses of Owen and Bru Lars, we say thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the multiverse.